Let's jump right in. Welcome back to Universal Grace. I am your host, Nadine Grace. Our guest today, his name is Eddie L. Johnson. Eddie, how are you?
I am fantastic, Nadine. How are you today?
I am doing absolutely wonderful.
Love it, love it, love it.
Yes, it's an honor to have you. We spoke before that I did your bio. You have an amazing bio. I did that prior to coming on this recording. And I know that you're the CEO of your company and you're into personal development, which is oh my gosh, that's my area, my background. I'm all about finding your purpose. I'm all about walking in purpose and discovering self and knowing that you're here for something bigger than what you were told, bigger than what the eyes meet. So I want you to go into your story, like what led you to personal development? What led you to this amazing company that you now run?
Yeah, great question. So actually it's personal development as well as professional development.
Yes,
But
yes.
what basically led me here, um, I have a lot of stories, right? That really got me to this place. But I think the thing that really kind of pushed me over the edge into this arena that I'm in currently right now is almost 5 years ago, I was working for this super amazing company. It was in the month of April 5 years ago, almost coming up, that I was about to celebrate my 20-year anniversary.
Mm.
And in that same month, um, I get a call into the office and I'm told that, hey, Eddie, the company is going to a different direction. So instantly, I'm trying to figure out what's next, where I'm going to go now, and everything. Long short is, as I was leaving the office with mixed emotions, because this is a great company I work for, great people to work with, and everything. Um, Trying to figure out what was going to be next. All kind of things are going through my head. But as I'm leaving the office, there was this song that came on the radio by an artist by the name of Yolanda Adams. And
Mm.
she sings this song that says, "This battle is not yours." And Nadine, I'm gonna tell you,
Mm.
I just skipped a whole bunch of stuff, but this is like the real
Mm.
nitty gritty of this story. Is it literally hit me to the point that I had to pull over and contain my emotions,
Mm.
right? I knew that in that moment that everything was going to be okay. What was interesting about this whole experience of being downsized is several days afterwards, a friend of mine calls me up and says, "Hey, Eddie, me and several guys are about to go through this process of talking about legacy, men and legacy. And we're going to talk about purpose."
Mm.
And I was like, man, I'm just not up for it right now. I just, got a lot on my mind. And then something just said, "Eddie, you've invested into this amazing company. You've invested into all of these people. Now, Eddie, it's time for you to invest in yourself."
Yes.
And I took that approach to make that investment. And I got to tell you, that was the best investment I ever made,
Yes.
was that one investment. But what it allowed me to do was really tap into who I was and what I was created to do, right?
Yes.
So shortly after going through this process, um, I ended up writing a book. I wrote a book called Passing the Test of Faith. And the book is about how to face adversity um, with faith. And technically what it's really about is it's a life testimonial, but it's also a self-help inspirational book as well,
Yes.
right? So I was afraid to write this book. For 8 years it was kind of like embedded in me, but I was afraid to do it. I just feeling inadequate and everything, but I knew in that moment that it was time for me to do something different,
Yes.
right? So after going through that process of writing this book and trying to still figure out what's next, something just said, "Eddie, purpose has meant so much to you. Think about all the people who are missing out
Mm.
because they're not tapped in,"
Mm.
right? And at
Yes.
that point, I just said, okay, I got to try to figure this piece out. So I just took some time and did some research and came up with my own program. And I'm so excited about being in a position to encourage, inspire, and motivate others to believe, break through adversity, and help them get to the next level in their life. Now, listen, I just told you my purpose statement, okay? So that's my own personal purpose statement, right? I just shared with you. I had to drop that in there. But yeah, that's a little bit of my story as to what got me here. But it's so many things that, as I look back over my life, things that go all the way back to my ninth grade year in high school, in junior high school, back what we called it back then, right? That goes all the way back to that point that literally were stepping stones to mold me to be where I'm at today.
Yes. Yes. As you were speaking, I was getting chills because our stories are so similar. Right before we hopped on, I was telling you about how I was led to my purpose from feeling unfulfilled at my job. And like you, I was laid off as well. And it's I like how you go into, really explaining that you want people to tap in to that power within them that we all have. Like we all came here for a purpose. We didn't come here to work a 9 to 5 and hate our jobs. We came here for something much bigger than that.
Right.
And, it took you getting laid off or for the company to move directions for you to step into your other self, for you to look beyond what you knew. So sometimes, like you said, adversity, you wrote a book about adversity. Sometimes it takes adversity to move us from that season of us being comfortable and living life based on our five senses rather than going within. Sometimes it takes us to go through adversity to get to meet the other side of us,
That's right. That's
right?
right. That's right. I love
Yes.
that. Yes.
Yes, yes. I get really passionate about that because, like you, I was in the corporate world as well. And I was told, in the Jamaican background, I'm Jamaican, and in the Jamaican background is all about, you know, classism, moving to the next level and getting this degree and getting that, and just, how big is your house, how much money you have in the bank. It's all about the external. And so I was molded in that capacity. And let me go get this master's, let me go get this bachelor's, let me go find this company that is reputable, let me go, climb the ladder. But yet I was doing all of that, but yet I hated going to work. And sometimes when I tell my story, I look back and I'm like, you know what? Like you said, in high school, starting from ninth grade, you were looking at the stepping stones, you were looking at your life and your experiences and how it led you to where you're at now. And sometimes we have to go through those experiences in order for us to meet the other side of us. And that's what happened to you, investing 20 years into a company that you said you loved, but God had more plans for you.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And
Yes.
if that didn't happen, you probably would have been there until you retire at 70, 80 years old, never knowing your purpose.
You're
So
absolutely correct. Yes.
yes, yes, I get really passionate about, like, I love having this type of discussion because I have a niece right now who, she doesn't want to go to college. And she may be listening to this podcast as well. Sometimes she does, sometimes she doesn't. She doesn't want to go to college. However, her mom wants her to. And that's the way we were molded, right? We were molded that if you don't go to college and get a college degree, you're not good enough. We're assessed based on our educational backgrounds and how much money we have in our banks because we're tying ourselves to that. So my question is, how did you prepare yourself to really walk into purpose? What are some of the things that you did to get you? Because it's all about mindset and it's all about awareness. How were you conditioned in your mind to walk in purpose on a daily basis? What are some of the things that you are doing to push you forward?
Yeah. So it's interesting you mentioned about doing things the way that everybody tells us to do it, right? What's interesting is many times we've all heard this story, go to college, get a good job, work hard, buy a house, start a family, and you're going to reach what? Success.
Yes.
So all of us have reached this level of success in life. All of us have reached success, some level of success. But what happens is many times as adults, we wake up one day and we'll say, man, this is what success is. This is what it feels like. And we're like, whoa, something is missing.
Yes.
And what's missing, and this is for your niece, okay? But what's missing is the fact that we're doing everything that everybody say that we should do. So we go pursuing that as opposed to pursuing those things that we were created to do. And
Yes.
pursuing those things that are unique to us and our strengths and our abilities, right? So we miss out on so much. So what really has helped me to be able to get to this place and be able to go forward in purpose is first realizing, what am I good at doing? What is it that I love to do? And not only that, what are my powers? I like to call them superpowers, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
so the way I look at it is, we have these things that drive us, okay? Our passions, our motivations, our values. Many times we don't talk about values enough, okay? That's huge, right? But those things are the things that drive us. But then here comes these things that really give us that power. And those things are our strengths. What are we good at doing, right? But not only that, what is our gift? When I say give, I'm coming from a spiritual place, right? So I've always looked at strengths. If I know what my strengths are, I have a power. But if I know what my strengths are and I know what my gift is, I now have a superpower, right? So when we know what those things are, we become unstoppable in the things that we were created to do.